Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. These are occasions where we are all reminded why we are here on the earth. So we are reminded why we are here on the earth. Are we here to eat, drink, sleep, fight, argue, be successful, collect lot of things, create relations, have possessions, many cars, many houses? Is that the purpose? Nothing wrong with all that. But is our presence in this creation an asset to the creation, or is it a liability? With what I saw a little bit about Mataji, it's an asset. Throughout her life, she served. And as I said, these moments of coming together are an eye-opener. Is our life an asset to our nears and dears and our extended family, which is the society, the nation, the universe, the earth, the environment, everything? For that, we need to live an inspired life. It doesn't happen just like that. It requires continuous application, day in and day out. See? Normally, at such occasions, if you go to India, I don't know about here, Panditjis, what they do, I'm not a Pandit, they read Garud Puran. Garud Puran, English theek hai na? Garud Puran is read for the onward journey of the soul. There is no doubt when a wave dies, it goes back to water. When it was born, it was already water. While it was alive, it was still water. When it dies, it still goes back. It is still water. If you understand what I just said, Garud Puran is not read for the one who has passed away. It is read for those who are living. It is a reminder. Wake up, prepare, be an asset to everyone, have no regrets, have no expectations in life, keep serving. That is the way to purify the mind and allow the Lord to reveal from it. Only then it happens. It doesn't happen. Just now I was in Sydney. Every house I went, there is an anxiety problem. Children are anxious, parents are anxious, someone is depressed. Why? Did she have any time for that? Never. So what is that we are lacking and she had? Or such people, that they didn't have free time. They utilized every moment to take care, to nourish whoever is around them by thought, word, speech, actions, service, whichever way. And what do? iPad, phone, movies, lock up ourselves in the room. Again, I come back to this point that these events, these occasions are for us to wake up, to make something out of our life, as she has and many others. टटोलो अपने आप को, कहाँ हम कम पड़े हैं अपने जीवन में? Where are we falling short in our life? How can I live a life where 24 hours are less for me? See, Bhagavad Gita towards that says, न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Inspiration does not come from outside. Someone from outside can motivate you. Motivation can last for some time. Afterwards, again, जैसे balloon में हवा भरी, balloon becomes hey, and then after some time again push. But then what is difference between outside motivation and inspiration? Inspiration comes from within. See, when you go to sleep every night, what do? You forget everything in the world, isn't it? You forget the children, you forget your possessions, you forget your investments, you forget your body also. You can't remember your body in sleep. You can't remember you are breathing or not breathing in sleep. There are no thoughts in your mind. And what is the result? You become refreshed to live the next day. Correct? Is this not our data on a daily basis? That every night we go to sleep, we forget everything in this world and we become refreshed to function again for the next 12, 14, 18 hours. Till we get exhausted, again we go back to zero, again we get refreshed. Is there a way? Is there a way that we remain, get that refreshed, rejuvenation I should say? We get it from sleep. Is there a way we can rejuvenate it 24/7? फिर तो पूरा दिन सोना पड़ेगा. That is not possible. This is the way. You said she was a religious also, she was doing her part or whatever mantra चल रहा होगा उनका. Religious just doesn't mean going to temples and everything.
She was spiritual.
Spiritual. That's exactly what I mean. True inspiration comes from the spirit. Thank you. True inspiration comes from the spirit. Okay. And when we are aware of that spirit, of that soul, if you want to use that word soul, if you want to use the word consciousness, if you want to use the word spirit, you want to use the word Atma, be free. It's all the same. When we are attentive of that constant principle, in spite of seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, waking, dreaming, sleeping, past, future, every activity that is going on, from there the inspiration, the insatiable inspiration, it just keeps pushing you to do more and more and more and serve and serve and serve. That Atma, that spirit never gets tired. Just like our sun, he never gets tired. Continuously, आप सो या ना सो, जागो या ना जागो, he is always there every morning. See? And from sun's point of view, thoda adhyatma, from sun's point of view, there is nothing called day and night. From spirit point of view, there is nothing called success or failure. Sukha dukkha samay krutva labha labho jaya jayo. From point of view of spirit, there is nothing called joys and sorrows. From point of view of spirit, there is nothing called success and gain. From point of view of spirit, there is nothing called gain and loss. Then what is this spirit? You are, don't ask, you are alive. And when one lives with that, from that standpoint, a great inspiration flows out of that person. Okay. Here in Bhagavad Gita, usually when a person is breathing their last, we read the Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. So these are just few verses from the Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 which explain as to the nature of the spirit, and that she is still that spirit alone. This is a reminder for all of us that you are also that spirit. What does it say? It says the self is not born and it does not die at any time, and it does not again come into existence by being born. It itself is birthless, constant, eternal and ancient. It is not slain when the body is slain. So आप थोड़ा सा, yeah, because we have only half an hour, so just a slight contemplation, if it takes root in your mind, our last breath will be a happy one. Because one day our turn will also come. And what is that? Here it says, it is neither born nor it dies. Before a wave, there was water. Water is the principle. Before the wave, water was. During the wave, water was. After the wave, water was. So what is the constant? The spirit or the water. Then where was the wave? Only existing. दो तरीके से बोल सकते हो. Existing in its own absence, meaning this is a wave, this is a form, existing in its own absence, or you can say it is the glory of the water, or you can say it is the glory of the divine. If it is the glory of the divine, when you go to a temple, when you go to any auspicious occasion, you are always at your best, isn't it? So if this is the glory of the divine, I'm not just talking about body, breath, mind, intellect. Is it not that body should be decked up, dressed up perfectly? Then speech should be articulated perfectly. It should be such that it does not hurt anyone. Is it not that what we see, hear, touch, feel, taste is only auspicious? We don't see negativities in others, try to see only the positivity. Is it not from the mind level that we feel only positive emotions, nourishing emotions, inspiring emotions? Otherwise, what are the negative ones? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, anger, greed, jealousy, envy, hypocrisy and arrogance. That's plenty of it roaming around. So we have to make that choice. Then comes the intellect. Intellect also is a part of the body only. So this intellect is only with the human beings. Animals don't have intellect. They have brain, but they don't have intellect. Intellect's job is one. What is that? To discriminate. I am the constant spirit, or am I the changing body? If you focus on the changing body, depression will come. If you focus on the constant spirit and live through this changing body, you are unstoppable, man. You are unstoppable. This possibility is only available with the human being. And if we call ourselves human being, here is one example in front of us who lived in that manner. Let's also become an example like that for others to talk about us like that. See? न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भाविताय वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतो यम पुराणो. What is the nature of this spirit? It is unborn, ajaha, nitya, it is eternal. Shashvata, it is the most auspicious one. Purana, it is the most ancient one. Means there is nothing before that. Because spirit has no beginning and no end. Therefore most ancient. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Nobody can kill it. It can never be killed. Nor can it kill anyone. Nor can it. The spirit cannot be killed. Nor the spirit can kill anyone. Therefore, when Emperor Ashok, after he had turned into a Buddhist, he was defeating the Kalinga Raja, and he was angry that 17 times I have not been able to defeat him, and he went with that anger and he smashed his army and caught him, and about to sever his head, he stopped. He says, I am killing you out of hatred, out of resentment that because of you so many 17 times my army was defeated. I will not kill you. Go, I set you free. Because I don't want to kill anyone because of resentment or hatred. When you come to be the self, the spirit, you cannot by nature do anything bad to anyone. By nature. देखो ये सिर्फ सुनने वाली बात नहीं है, ये अपने अंदर कल्टीवेट करने वाली बात है. और ये चॉइस मैं अभी बता रहा हूँ कि दिस चॉइस इज ओनली विद ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. आप दुनिया के बारे में ज़्यादा सोचोगे, ऐसे लोगों को बोलते हैं, आप सबको पता है क्या बोलते हैं, असुर. those people who are nothing wrong with materialism, but only materialism, such people are called asur. Be in the material world, live from the spiritual standpoint, you are a complete person. You are a complete person. Such person cannot but go to Vaikuntha. Cannot but go to Vaikuntha. It's already done, written. क्योंकि that person is functioning from that standpoint. फिर बोलते हैं वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति व नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विषाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Just as a person gives up worn out clothes and puts on other new ones, even so does the embodied self give up decrepit bodies and enters other new ones. Very simple. You don't have to look at a very... I have not seen anyone who's dropping their body and getting into new body. But you have done it. Every day you dream. All of you dream. Or no? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Every day is the same body in the dream? Never. Every day it's a new body, it's a new wife, it's a new husband, it's new children, it's a new house. Every day, that's the glory. Same thing is happening right now also. Your yesterday's body is not today's body, it's already changed. But we are living in the foolish imagination that we are the same person from yesterday who is living today. And this brings about a big problem in our life. What is same from yesterday to today is the spirit. What has changed from yesterday to today and can never go back to be the yesterday is the body, breath, mind, intellect. They can never be the same. They are continuously changing. So live through this changing principle without forgetting that we are the spirit. That's the way to make this life. That's the way to prepare for this life. That's the way to conclude life. Because life will conclude. Life will conclude for others that this person has gone away. But a person who has lived the life in this manner, there is no conclusion. It's eternity. Ajo nitya shashvato yam purana. Na hanyate na hanyamane sharire. So with this thought, कितना टाइम हो गया? We can do more. नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः. Weapons do not cut it, fire does not burn it, water does not wet it, moisten it, and wind does not dry it. So what do these five elements? You know, the world is made up of space, air, fire, water, earth, isn't it? If the world is made up of fire, water, earth, everything is there. A dead body is also made up of these five elements. A living body is also made up of these five elements. What is the difference between the two? What is making a living body, a dead body, a non-living body? Some principle is missing between the two, isn't it? That is the spirit. And usually what happens on these moments, on these occasions, we become, we are also going to go this way, and we should also, that was a very good talk that Swamiji gave, that we must contemplate on the spirit. And for 1 or 2 days, this thing will keep lingering in your mind. Third day comes, chal yaar pub chalte hain, and you will run away to the pub. And we forget, that quickly we forget. It requires, in this moment, if you are available right now, it will go and make a deep impression in your mind. And from inside then the change will begin. And what is this change? Here, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. Weapons do not cut it. Bulle Shah के बारे में सुना है ना? बुल्ले शाह थे, गुरु तेग बहादुर थे in the Sikh parampara. Guru Tegh Bahadur, Aurangzeb took him. He cut him, he tortured him, piece by piece he dismembered him. But he did not convert. Why? He was committed to his spirit. He says, this spirit is all that there is. Bulle Shah, जिसका शागिर्द ने हीर रांझा लिखी थी, दैट बुल्ले शाह, उसको औरंगजेब पकड़ के ले गया, तू गाना गाता है, तू अल्लाह का गाना गाता है. कहता मैं तो गाऊंगा, अल्लाह गा रहा है, मैं थोड़ा ना गा रहा हूँ. एंड उसको जाके सूली पे चढ़ा दिया, उसका गला काट दिया. But he did not stop singing the name of the divine. That singing of the name of the divine doesn't happen just by mouth, it happens by action also. Because action happens where? कर्म कहाँ किया जाता है? क्रिया कहाँ होती है? मनसा, वाचा, काया. So action means movement. Movement happens at body level, movement happens at speech level, movement happens at mind level. These three places we have control. We don't have control over eyes. कितनी देर तक तुम बंद रख लोगे या कितनी देर तक तुम खुली रख लोगे. Breath is also an action, but you cannot, नहीं मैं control करूँगा, कितनी देर तक करोगे? You can't hold it outside or inside. But these three places, mind, speech and body. When we chant Om, when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we do some bhajans from the heart, the integration between mind, speech and the body comes about. Without you trying, एक सिंक्रोनाइजेशन आ जाता है. और जहाँ अपना मन, वाचा एंड काया synchronize हो जाता है, when they come to synchronize each other, at that very moment a person gets the glimpse of the divine. And what is that divine? The spirit. At that very moment, an unexplicable ecstasy, joy, inspiration flows out of that person. Make yourself available to it on a daily basis, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2-3 times a day. That will help us. तो यहाँ बोलते हैं वेपन्स डू नॉट, नहीं तो दिन ऑल लाइफ इफ देर इज अ फॉरेस्ट फायर, अरे यार मरना नहीं है, इफ देर इज अ फ्लड्स, चलो लेट चेंज, गो टू डिफरेंट स्टेट, इन मेलबर्न इट इज सेफ. Weapons do not cut it, the fire does not burn it, water does not moisten it, and wind does not dry it. These are the qualities of each of those elements. Weapon is not an element, weapon is a instrument to kill, but it cannot cut. It can cut the body, it cannot cut the spirit. Fire can burn the body, but fire cannot burn the spirit. Water can wet the body, गला सकती है body को, gangrene for example, but it cannot affect the spirit. And similarly, last one was, the wind can dry it, but it cannot dry the spirit. तो फिर क्या करना है जीवन में? How do we live life then? You all know it, but you choose not to remember it. As a child, everyone got burnt sometime or the other. Yes? Did you stop using fire altogether because you got burnt once? Or you put those who are from India, born in India, we must have as a kid put the finger into the electric socket sometime or the other and got the shock. Kundalini jagrit ho jati hai. But what have we learned from that? We have learned to negotiate that fire which could burn us, and now it serves us rather than we getting burned by it, isn't it? So we have learned the rules of engagement. Very important point. We have learned the rules of engagement with fire, and now the fire is a blessing rather than a curse. Is our life, body, breath, mind, intellect, our relations, our possessions, this whole creation, is it a curse or a blessing? Have you learned the rules of engagement with it? और जस्ट डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग पे लगे हुए हैं, सुबह उठते हैं बिना सोचे ब्रश कर दिया, बिना सोचे टॉयलेट चले गए, बिना सोचे नहा लिया, बिना सोचे रोज का वही, चाय बनी क्या, नहीं बनी, क्यों नहीं बनी, फिर गुस्सा कर दिया. You have to live with awareness. That alertness is required, and that will only come when we become available to our true self, true spirit, not the body, breath, mind, intellect. Use the intellect to choose to think, contemplate, meditate upon the spirit. And the easiest way for it is Om. और काम करते करते चलते रहो. उसका भी एक उदाहरण दे, example I'll give you how to do it, and then we'll conclude. So it becomes a practical thing for us. And as our Rajesh ji said that she was spiritual, not religious. Such people don't talk what they are practicing inside. Their actions speak. See? Like a mother working at home knows that the child comes back at 3 o'clock, or a working mother also. And the moment 3 o'clock she rings home, बेटा स्कूल से आ गए, आज 3 बज गए, फ़ोन कर दिया, बच्चा घर पे है ही नहीं, the child is not at home. Then she calls his phone, he doesn't pick up, and there is a big load of work in front of her, and she's performing, but one part of her mind, important, one part of her mind is continuously thinking about her child. She's not lacking in her performance in her work, but one part of her mind is continuously thinking of her child, isn't it? We have all, as parents, you have done it sometime or the other. Replace the child with the Lord. Replace the child with Om. Replace the child with the spirit within. Let everything happen. ये बेवकूफ़ी है कि we are doing everything. It is happening. For this, you require a different glasses. If I take out, it's all mixed. I need these glasses to see the difference. When you come closer to the spirit, this recognition comes. भाई पूरी दुनिया चलाने वाला तो कोई और ही है, और उस दुनिया में ये शरीर भी आता है, उस दुनिया में ये वाचा भी आती है, उस दुनिया में ये मन भी आता है. सब चलाने वाला कोई और है. और जब ऐसे होता है अपने जीवन में तो उत्साह ही उत्साह. उत्तिष्ठ भारत. विवेकानंद जी said, wake up to this spirit and be a force to be reckoned with, as she was. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly. All those who know her, great. Seek her blessings, that we are remembered lovingly, fondly, spiritually, the way she is. Seek her blessings, that may she bless us, and don't have a doubt in the mind. The soul always goes back to its own source. In fact, soul is neither born nor it dies. It's only the body. Develop that vision and live joyfully thereafter. Hari Om.